Hello there, my name is Harold Acosta and today I'm going to talk to you about my project, which is the use of video games as a didactic tool to enhance EFL or production fluency. First, the teaching methodologies and approaches for EFL have been evolving constantly because of the new needs and challenges in EFL education. Nowadays, we have people born in the 21st century that is widely different from elders because they have been surrounded by technology and share different communicative environments such as video games or social media. Everything has changed and even the way we learn, so that's why we have to adapt learning theories into a digital age, as Siemens 2005 states. It is necessary to add the technological and connective aspects to take them in most of the new strategies to teach EFL.
Now, to talk about the final product, you will find a YouTube channel full of videos of all the process where you can find some classes, activities for enhancing the fluency at speaking, videos playing some video games with my participants, and finally all the gameplays, which is the final product or the final activity for them. They had to create a video gaming session of their favorite game, where they had to talk about the game, their favorite character, and why they like the game. As I told you before, in the Gaming Zone YouTube channel, you can find 14 videos now uploaded regarding to the use of English in some activities, video games, and the lessons we have for you to take a look. Now let's talk about the results. In these sections, we'll describe the observable data extracted from the sessions conducted throughout this project. All inside these 5 meetings, some relevant aspects have emerged from each one of them. Students enjoyed most of the topics brought by the teacher because they stated that would be useful to enrich their English skill. Although, due to the difference of English level among the participants, some of them sometimes felt shy when speaking to the classmates. For this reason, the teacher proposed the games shy people liked the most in order to encourage their participation and for them to share inside a virtual learning environment already known. This strategy was meaningful and students started to participate more. In the first session, the teacher had a meeting with the students in order to talk about the pretension of the project, the way we were going to work, to know each other, share the video games they love the most, and their expectations about the development of the Euro offensive. In addition, we talked about the current situation of COVID-19 suffered all around the world and in their houses, which allowed us to know each other's reality and perceptions. In this first meeting, I found that most of the students did not talk too much English in the first minutes. However, when the teacher announced the arrival of a Brazilian participant who did not speak Spanish, all the students started to speak English. The inclusion of classmates is a good strategy to encourage the use of the target language because in this way we fulfill the need of communication as in real world. Here the students became actors in a real need, as the PBL approach suggests. Regarding the second session, in which we started to get immersed in virtual learning environments as a video game, albeit League of Legends is a well-known game. We introduced it for those who did know it by explaining how to play it, the vocabulary needed to interact the game, and the basic commands to apply in the game, and to communicate more effectively, taking into account the needs of communication. From this session we realized that one of the participants did not participate too much, and he was coincidentally the same participant that had not played the game before. It showed that students feel more comfortable and motivated when they know the virtual learning environment and that we have to give them some time to get used. The rest of them express their ideas in an acceptable way. The commands and the vocabulary was sometimes used. However, they arrived to communicate and coordinate a successful LOL match. Regarding our second video gaming session, Halo 1 was the video game to be immersed. Before logging in the game, the teacher explained some expressions from the US Army, which can be used in a real-life context, and the origin of the game Capture the Flag. In this session, we decided to play a video game that the shy participant loved, and it was evident the change when talking about this game. As he felt more comfortable in this shooter game, he had more knowledge about linguistic aspects, for example vocabulary, from this kind of game, and felt more sure when expressing his ideas. As well, the remaining teachers enjoyed playing Simon Says inside virtual learning environment and used the expressions learned in class which were handed in a PDF document. In spite of the drawbacks, the profit in this session was successfully noticed. Then, within the Brawl Stars session, we noticed that they had improved their speaking skills thanks to the exercise done and the previous virtual situations. These skills were shown in the game inasmuch as they achieved an effective communication inside the game and outside the game as well. To illustrate, Krish, who did not know the game before, could do the speaking activity and give opinions about the game with no difficulties, taking into account that people do not feel sometimes comfortable to share in a game which do not know. Finally, in the Stop and the Pinturillo 2 gaming session, we could analyze that some students are not very accurate at spelling some well-known words from them, despite they pronounce them normally and in a good way. Additionally, the participants showed their skills at the moment of showing that they had developed communicative skills, in as much as they could guess words from graphic or phonic description. Finally, I would like to show you a part of the final product, which were the gameplays made by my students. As you all know, giving example is one of the best strategies to assure that students will do what the teacher wants. In this occasion, I did a gameplay example with the Mario Kart 64 for them to know better what they had to do or to talk. At the end, in the annexes, you can find all the gameplays of my students. As a conclusion, I can state that thanks to the use of video games within the frame of this project, students have improved their oral fluency due to the interest they have towards the video games and the constant use of English in the sessions. Additionally, the participation of non-Spanish speakers in the project encouraged the use of the foreign language that, in this case, became a vehicular one. For these students to express more easily, it is recommended to use the video games they like, in which they feel more comfortable because they will have more to talk about. Finally, the proposition of topics and information that can be used inside video games and real-life context can enrich the speaking proficiency of the language user due to the utility and possible situation to be used. Thank you so much.
And this one has been the presentation of my project. Thank you very much.